Hey everybody, it's Indigon and welcome back finally to another quarter hunt. It has been too long. Had a lot of other cool stuff going on here lately and I haven't been able to hunt box quarters like I enjoy, and I finally have another one. So hopefully this is going to be a circulated box, and it is. So we've got a hunt. I'm going to hunt the top 10 rolls. If I have a find, I'll bring you in. If not, I will go ahead and scope everything and let you know what I find in each set of 10 as we work our way down through the box. I'll bring you in for silver, W's, NIFCs, proofs, basically anything cool like that, or any really special, varieties that pop out. But like I said, I won't be scoping any coins until the end of the whole 10 rolls, and then I'll scope them all and then do a recap and then just so on through the rest of the box. If this is your first time, feel free to go back through my previous hunts and check them out. I do find quite a bit on quarter boxes. I have pretty good luck around here. But yeah, with that, I'm going to go ahead and get into this box and I will bring you in at the end of 10 rolls. Just finished roll number 3 and we have a Zitkala Sa WUFO number 1. This is it's a die dent, but according to DoubleDie.com attributors, and this is one I actually sent off. I will try to link that video right up here. But this is one of my favorite finds. I love this little extra diamond. I find quite a few of them, but this one's in pretty good shape too. So not mad at it. Would love to find another one or two here in this box, but WUFO number 1. Bring you in on the next one. All right, those first 10 rolls are hunted, and they gave up 9 finds. So really good first 10 rolls. You already saw the Zitkala Sa with the extra diamond there. Had a Wyoming with very little bit of doubling here in the saddle horn. Had a Saratoga with some doubling inside the saber handle right here. A Homestead with some doubling in I believe this is L2, and looks like possibly a very little bit down here, not really sure. And we had a Harper's Ferry in not great shape, but pretty nice double die. Had a Washington crossing the Delaware with pretty good little doubling right here on the cuff. And then we had 3 American women's quarters with a little bit of doubling in the hair. This first one is a Edith Kanaka Ole. And again, you can see the doubling right there. Don't see anything anywhere else on that one. And we had a Patsy Takemoto mink, and there's a ton of them for this one, not the double die. See it right there. And then another Edith Kanaka Ole with a little bit of doubling in the opposite direction. So this one's like northwest. You see a little bit down here as well. This one's, again, very minor, not anything huge, but 9 finds through 10 rolls. This could be a very good box. Let me bring you in on the next one. All right, so the second 10 rolls kept pace with the first ones. This one actually had 10 finds, and this is a reference coin, but we had 10 different finds in those second 10 rolls, up to 19 already on the box. And I'll go ahead and throw a few of these on the microscope here real quick. Had 2 of the Maya Angelou VDDR number 1s. And You see both of them right there. Had a Harper's Ferry with a little bit of doubling in the windows. Pretty nice example. Had a, let's see, Jovita Idar with a little bit of doubled hair there. And I believe that was it on this one. But pretty decent doubled hair. This one is another Jovita Idar. And this one has what looks like, and I'm going to hold this one aside a little bit, but it looks like a second doubled eyelid. So you see that little piece right there? So I'm going to hold that one off to the side. Did have a Zitkala Sa, and this is not an extra diamond. It's not the VDDR number 1. This one actually has a little bit of doubling right down here in her clothes. So right here and here looks doubled. So this is the reference coin, and you can see none of that doubling is there. So we get a little bit extra doubling right down here on this one. I don't see anything anywhere else. Maybe a touch right there. But nothing crazy noticeable on this one. And there's nothing on the outside of the bust there. But a little bit of minor double die on that one. Next up is a Patsy Takemoto mink. And this one has very, very minor doubling. But it's north on the inside of that little hair curl. And there's a little tiny bit on top of this first two. Had it been just one or the other, I probably wouldn't have kept it, but that one was both. Next up is a Eleanor Roosevelt. And this one has a little bit of doubling in the hair curl. And you see down here on this second piece as well, the ponytail. This one is pretty worn. It's not a great example. And then there's another Jovita Idar. Quite a few finds on this one. Very, very tiny piece of doubling right there. And looks like a little bit back here on these other curls as well. Nothing on In God We Trust. Nothing on the date. But if you turn it just right, you can see a little bit of a doubled eyelid. And again, I'm going to have to adjust the focus on this one. And then the third doubled eyelid is this Patsy Takemoto mink. And do not need to adjust your screen for that, because that is, I want to say, VDDO number 4. That's the big one. That's the one that will probably at some point end up in a cherry picker's guide, because it is just absolutely massive. You can actually see this one with your naked eye. I mean, you don't need magnification for that. That eye is just crazy looking. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Let's see, zoom in on that eye. You can just see it right there. I mean, it's crazy how doubled that thing is. But let me work on the focus a little bit here and see if I can get these two other minored double eyelids to focus. So there's one of them. That one may be machine doubling. I don't know. I don't think so, though. Because you see how it's kind of got a split right. Let's see if I can get the focus right and be able to point. There's a split right here. So I don't think that one is machine doubling. And then on this other IDAR, there is, let's see. So it's a little bit more minor, but you can see this is kind of a little bump out here as well. It's not a full-on eyelid. Just a little bit extra. Sorry if I didn't have that in the right place. So let's see if I can show that again. So you see that little bump on that one, right there. And then the other one, again, you see it right. If I can get it to focus where it's not super blurry, right there. And then again, you don't need any of that for this. Just that's full on whole eyebrow and eyelid doubled there. So once again, good set of rolls. 10 finds, 9 in the first ones, 19 finds through the first 20 rolls is a fantastic start. And I will bring you in on the next finds. Third set of rolls is done, and we came away with 7 more finds. This first one, a 25. This one is a Juliet Gordon Low, or as I refer to it, the Mrs. Doubtfire coin. This one had a little bit of doubling right here. It's to the north, and I don't really see anywhere else on this one, but it's pretty good spread right there on that little lower hair curl. Had a Patsy Takemoto mink with a little bit of doubling right there on the primary hair curl right there. And again, I don't think there's anything anywhere else on this one. Maybe a little bit actually on the bottom of that too. That looks doubled to me. We had a Harper's Ferry with doubling in this upper window. You don't usually see that. Got a little bit here and here. Had another Harper's Ferry with doubling down here. This one's pretty common in these two windows. Had a Fort McHenry with doubling in that starburst there on the firework or explosion on that one, and possibly a little bit on that bottom stripe of the flag. Had a Zitkala Sa, and this one had, if I can remember exactly on this one, had a little bit down here on the dress, or on the beads, and also on the bird. So you see right there, it's doubled under the bird's neck. I don't believe that one is listed. And then we had the Maya Angelou VDDR number 2. So we had 2 number 1s and a number 2 in the first 30 rolls. Got 20 more, and I'll bring you in, and that is a lot of finds for only 30 rolls. And these are all my nicer coins to just kind of check against my albums. But this has been a fantastic box so far. So let me go ahead and get into these last 20 rolls, and I'll bring you in after the next 10. Rolls 31 through 40 put us back on track. We had 11 finds in these 10 rolls. The first one is a Washington crossing the Delaware with a little bit of minor cuff doubling. And we had another one with a little bit down here in this portion. And then the last one is a little bit of both, a little bit better. It's kind of coming around on this corner and then going down the cuff. We had and this is a Dr. Mary Edwards Walker. And it has, let's see if I can find it, a little bit of doubled hair there. We have a, excuse me, a Jovita Idar with a little bit of doubled eyelid. So you see right there. Get a little bit of doubling up in there. And I believe that one also had, yeah, a little bit on the 2, I think. Have a Bessie Coleman, and it had some doubling on the 2 and the 0. So you see right here, both kind of northwest on both of those numbers and the date. And I think that was it on that one. And then had another Jovita Idar with more doubling in the hair. Pretty decent little bit of doubling on that one. We had an Ozark Riverways with some doubling in this tree right in here. We had a Homestead with some doubling in the windows, or no, excuse me, this was a Leaky Bucket. So you got the big die chip on the bottom of the bucket there. Had a Harper's Ferry with doubling in these 4 windows right here, so shifted down on all 4 of those. And then the find of those rolls, and this is kind of hard to imagine that this is the find because you see it's got a scratch on it. It's got some gunk. It's an 89 Denver, and I'm immediately going to go throw this thing in some acetone and see how it cleans up. But this, best I can tell, and I've done an overlay, is the FS 501 RPM. I will show this picture, I'll show Variety Vista's picture, and then we're going to hop on to PCGS, and they don't even have it listed yet. So there is no PCGS number because they have not graded one, but it might not show anyway if they details grade it. But this, I believe, is the FS 501. So let me stop here and show you a couple pictures, and then I will get into the last 10 rolls for this box. So the base, the background on this is my picture, and the overlay is the rotated version from Variety Vista. And check that out right there. That snap, it just snaps right to it. That is the difference. So it is the FS 101, best I can tell. I mean, I'll do it one more time, just kind of show you what I'm seeing, but well, maybe if I can get it to move now. Let's see what we got. But that's it. I'm pretty sure that's the FS 501. The last 10 rolls of the box are hunted, and it's going to give us 12 more finds. This was a crazy good box. So first up, we have a 22. This is a Anime Wong, and you got some doubling down in the date. You see on that 2 and the 0 there. I don't believe there's any doubling anywhere else on this one. We have a Jovita Idar, which has been a pretty popular one this time. A little bit of doubling in the hair. Have a, if I can get a hold of it, Edith Kanaka Ole with, let's see, a little bit, excuse me, a little bit of doubling in the hair, kind of to the north and the west on this one. And that's just in the hair. I believe I had 3 of those total. So again, here's another one right here. And same one. And the third one right here. This one unfortunately has some stuff on it. May or may not keep it, but if I can get to the obverse. This is the same one, so we got 3 of those. Had a Wilma Mankiller, and this one had, let's see, Oh, this one had a little bit of doubling in that D. It's a little hard to show on camera, but there's a little bit down there on the bottom right. Have another anime long with the same doubling in the date down there. Had a Washington Crossing, Delaware, and you can see it right there. Really, really nice, strong clash. Very nice shape as well. So you got a little clash under the neck, and then flip it over, and a really strong clash right over George's face there. Very, very good shape too as well. This one has been spared from circulating very much, so I will definitely hold on to that. Had another Harper's Ferry with a little bit of doubling in these three windows. Had a Dr. Sally Ride with a doubled collar right there. Had a Patsy Takemoto mink, and this one is one I've been kind of looking for a while. I was expecting there would be some doubling on one of this, on the pin on one of these, but it's on the bottom of the Title IX paperwork, and there's also some on her, I don't know if that's her watch or bracelet or whatever. This one has some doubling on the bottom of the paperwork there. And then last but not least, we have a Zitkala Sa, and I was looking for the doubled diamond right there, or the doubled chin on this one, but this one has some doubling on the beads. So, and I believe a little bit on the bird. It's a little hard to see on that one. But again, another 12 finds. Let me get everything kind of together. I'm not going to run over all of the different finds. I'm just going to kind of hit some of the higher ones, the higher points, and just go over this crazy, crazy good box. I know this is a long video. Let me go ahead and kind of get the wrap up done. All right, and that is all of the finds, and these are, this is a lot. It really is. So, ended up with 6 of the Harper's Ferries. Had the one Wyoming DDR. Had the Ozark Riverways, and this is one of my favorite finds. So I'll put that down here. Had the Saratoga, the Fort McHenry, the Homestead DDR, and it had the one Leaky Bucket. Had the 2 VDDR number 1 and 1 VDDR number 2 Maya Angelou's. Those are always fun to find. Had 4 American Women's Quarters with some doubling in the date or in the motto, "In God We Trust." So had the one Wilma Mankiller, the 2 Anime Wongs, and the 1 Bessie Coleman. Had the doubled collar, Dr. Sally Ride. Had the doubled paper on the Patsy Takemoto mink. The 3 minor doublings on the Zitkala Sas, plus the extra diamond. And again, you can see the extra diamond naked eye on that one. So pull that one aside as well. Had 4 of the Crossing the Delaware DDRs, and then the one really nice die clash. Again, you can see that right there. All of these right here are doubled hair American Women's Quarters. So we had the Eleanor Roosevelt, and if you see more than one here, these are different designs. So there's different doublings for the same design. So we had the one Eleanor Roosevelt. We had a bunch of the Edith Kanaka Ole, 4 of this one, and then 1 different one. We had 3 total Patsy Takemoto minks. I had 4 total Jovita Idars, a Dr. Mary Edwards Walker, and the Juliet Gordon Lowe, or also known as the Mrs. Doubtfire quarter. But then the really, really good finds for this hunt, again, like the Ozark Riverways, like the extra diamond there. We had the Patsy Takemoto mink with the doubled eyelid. That one is huge. That's VDDO number 4 and Wexler's WDDO number 1. Had the 2 Jovita Idars with the doubled eye, and again, I'll throw one of those under the scope here in just a second. And then the find of the hunt, at least in my opinion, was the 1989 D/D FS 501. So let me kind of throw these, I already got 2 of these, but throw these under the microscope, and I'll show you one example of each of these, and just kind of give you, again, a quick recap on some of the better finds. All right, so this is the Jovita Idar doubled eyelid, and as you can see, it's kind of very minor compared to the Patsy Takemoto mink, which is just kind of in your face with how excessive it is. So that one is always a fun find. Then we had the extra diamond. So this is WUFO number 1 on the Zitkala-Sa. The Ozark Riverways. And again, we had the little bit of doubling. Get my pointer out here. A little bit of doubling right here on this tree. Pretty good one. And the coin's in excellent shape as well. Except it's got a little gunk on it. A little acetone will take that right off. But especially on the reverse, is pretty nice quarter. Had the 1 VDDR number 2, which is the extra earring inside the main earring. And then 2 of the VDDR number 1s, which is the earring on the outside of the main earring. And then last, and certainly not least in my opinion, is the RPM FS 501. And I'll show you on the computer real quick how I verified that this is exactly what I thought it was, and it's the FS 501. So let me do that real quick and I'll finish up this video. I know it's been forever. Let's go ahead and get it done. Okay, so the verification process on this is kind of going to really depend on these 2 pictures. So this is the picture taken through my microscope of the coin that I found today. And this is the coin that was listed on Variety Vista. So what I like to do is take them both and throw them in PowerPoint. And as you can see, this is the overlay. But when you move it a little bit, you can just kind of see them line up, and then bam, right there you see it snap in, and it's perfectly aligned. Everything fits, the lines flow together, the position is correct, the doubling is correct. Everything about this, even the rim, is in the correct spot. Everything lines up perfectly on this one, right? So again, you see the doubling, it's the same. It's just right there. So that is how I was able to verify that the coin I found is actually one of the FS 501s. And per the Cherry Pickers Guide, there were only 2 known at the time of printing of the latest edition. And PCGS still does not have one in their population reports. They still have not straight graded one. There's a pretty good chance that this one details grades, because it does have the scratch on the forehead. But even if it details grades, the fact that I have one is pretty sweet. So you will see that coin again in an upcoming PCGS submission. and I will be printing these pictures and this overlay and sending that to PCGS as well with the coin, just so that they can verify that, yeah, this is the correct one. Like, this is it. So anyway, if you made it this long, thanks for watching. I know that was a lot. If you'd like to see more, including this coin get sent to PCGS and see what they have to say about it, please consider subscribing, and thanks for watching.